Hi, the purpose of this video is to basically give you an introduction to RPG Geek, that's role-playing game geek, which when you first go to it can be quite intimidating and you don't know where to start basically. So I thought I'd give you a quick overview of the website and talk you through a few things to get you going quickly. Now first of all, this section at the top is for navigation. This helps you get around the site, although it doesn't look too user-friendly at the moment. I'll talk you through that in a few moments. Down the side here, you've got what's called the hotness. This is basically the most popular games, people or company at the moment. So the more people who go to hit a particular game or company, they move up this list. And that changes over time. These main blocks that you've got here, you can see there's a number of them. There's announcements, industry news, general discussions, you've got images. These are all called modules. And fundamentally, they're just links to forum posts. Because RPG Geek itself is a combination of two things. It is a database of role-playing games and a series of forums built around that database. So announcements is, as you might guess, announcements by the RPG Geek administrators. They make posts here. And each one of these links is simply a forum post. So if I click on this top one, you can see through this path here, it's on RPG Geek, it's in the forums, it's in site-related forum, and RPG News. Here's the subject. This is the post that was originally made, and then you have a series of RPG Geek users responding to that original post. And that's basically repeated over and over through each of the modules. Come on, load up. Here we go. So Industry News is basically a blog that's built into RPG Geek. And these are posts that are made onto that blog, and they appear here. And once again, though, they are just the same sort of thing. They're just more forum posts. So there's the original news article, and then people have responded to that underneath. Just the same as the other module. Back to the home page. Let's have a look at these other modules. Now, general discussion, that's coming from a particular part of the forums. It's just topics on any discussions on any topic really. Images, this usually shows the most recently published images, so people have taken a scan of something and uploaded it. They appear here. Reviews, that you can post a review on any role-playing product and that'll appear eventually here in this module. Game forums, now every single RPG, every item in each RPG has its own forum, and whatever's been posted most recently appears in this module here. Sessions is where people will post their session reports. So they've had a game in the afternoon and then they've recorded the details of that here. But again, they are just forum posts, same as everything else. Community, that's another section of the forums here. And it's basically where anybody can go and discuss anything. The Geek List module is rather underused on RPG Geek. It originally started on Board Game Geek, where people would make lists of board games. And a lot of the items you'll see in the lists here are actually board game lists that have carried over into RPG Geek, because there's not enough people at the moment making geek lists just linking to RPG items. But basically a geek list is, as I say, it's just a list of RPG items that you want to group together for whatever reason. Perhaps you want to make a list of things you got given as Christmas presents, or games that you've really enjoyed, or games you hated. Basically, it's just a list of items, and people can look at that list and post comments to it. Play by forum is quite a big thing at RPG Geek. Basically, they play games on the RPG forums. So if I just let's click on one of these, here we go. So someone's playing through B5, Horror on the Hill. And so there's the first post, lots of information in it, and then the players of the game kick in and start making basically the actions that their characters are going to do, and the referee comes back. So it's a whole game played out using the forums. Let's go back to the home page again. Now I said I'd mention this navigation. Now My Geek is basically things that you've done or things that you will do. Basically it's all about you. Browse allows you to just go and look at particular things in here, and you can see they've broken it down. Currently there's 32,903 RPG items. I suppose it's worth mentioning here, Dungeons and Dragons would be an RPG in their database, but the core rulebooks and all the modules would be listed as RPG items underneath that RPG. That'll make more sense once you get using it. Forums. If I follow this link here, you can see the basic forums around RPG Geek. So we've got a forum for general role-playing, one for game masters, designs, podcasts, and so on. A whole collection of different forums. But I'll just go into general role-playing. And you can see all these threads that have been started. So I'll click on one of these. You can see the original post is then followed up by people having a chat about whatever the subject is. Just another forum, basically. I'll go back again. So there's a lot of forums there for you to choose and mull about in. But this search feature is really quite useful. For instance, if I look for an RPG item, let's look up Hollow Point. Click Go. So I'm now searching the database. Here we go. Here's an entry for the game Hollow Point. So I'll click on that. And now it's going to present the database entry for Hollow Point. But this also includes forums, but I'll get to that in a second. So first of all, you can see all the details of the game. You can see all about it, mechanics that are used in it, who worked on it, who produced it, that sort of thing. And all of these are links to, for instance, this designer here, Brad Murray, has his own page. So you can go there and you can see all the games that he's associated with. See different versions of this game, or this RPG item rather, description of it. There's only one image been uploaded, but people could upload images of them playing the game as well as the game itself. There's a section here for videos, so if someone's created a video, perhaps uploaded it to YouTube, you could link to it from here. And then this RPG item, this Hollow Point game, has its own forum. And the forum's broken down into these different sections. For instance, this is a list of the threads that are marked as reviews, sessions, general questions, or all of them again. Wow, that's a popular one. 172 posts on that one. It's a play-by forum game, that's why. Lots of posts in those. So here's a session report. I'll click on that. And you can see someone's given all the details of their session. And of course, because it's just another forum post, you could reply to it. Nobody has in this case, but there's a reply button here. So you could add a reply into that. Further down, blogs. Now, every user on RPG Geek can have a blog on there as well. And you can basically go in there and make posts on any subject you want, but you can then link to games. And if in your post you've linked to a game, it'll appear on that game's page here as an entry in the blogs list. Next up, we have files. Sometimes people like to make their own character sheets for games, or anything related to it. They've created a file or an exe or something they can play with, a PDF perhaps, and they've uploaded it to RPG Geek, and other people can get to it and download it. Another link to Geek Lists, and this is showing all the Geek Lists that actually include Hollow Point as one of the items on there. And then you get some statistics that relate to RPG Geek. For instance, this is currently ranked 335 in the database, the 335th most popular game. You can see 14 people have made personal comments against it. You can see that 96 users have said they own this game, and there's 2 of them that want it. And all of these are clickable, so you can go and look at the stats. For instance, let's see who wants Hollow Point at the moment. There you go, and there's 2 users listed here who want to get their hands on a copy of Hollow Point. And what else is there? Let's see. Tags. Okay, so RPG items can be tagged, given a little descriptive word. Obviously this one is an RPG. People consider it independent, and you can get it via Lulu. Next up we have web links, and this is basically any links relating to the game. So this is probably to the the web page or the home page for the game itself or to the company that produces it. Basically, it's a web link to somewhere on the internet that's got content related to the game. And last of all, down the bottom is where you can add a copy to your collection, because that's another part of RPG Geek. You can keep a database of your own collection of RPG items. And you can record when you play it, and you can record information about it yourself. But that's just your personal information. But generally speaking, if you record anything in your profile or associate it with your account, it is visible to everyone else. For instance, you saw that 14 people had made comments about Hollow Point. Well, those are public. They've made them in their own collection, but it's a public comment, so anyone can go in and look at that list. Let's see, what's here? Geek lists. So let's say you want to create a new geek list of your own. Let's click here. And here's the screen where I can create a geek list. So, my first geek list. A list of games I want for... I'm just making this up as I go along. So, games I want for Christmas. Do I want to subscribe? Oh, I'll get to that in a minute. You can subscribe to basically anything in RPG Geek, meaning that if anybody posts a reply to that forum item, then you get notified of that. But I'll show you that in a minute. Let's make this geek list private. No, let's not. Keep it public. Continue to step 2. This loss is not right. So now I can add a new item to it. So let's say I add a new item. I start typing in Hollow Point, of course. Searching. Ooh, Hollow appears a lot more than I thought it would. Where's Hollow Point? Let's put P in there. Does that find it? There we go. Hollow Point. I really want this game. Save. Okay, so I've now got the first item on my geek list. And I can add as many items as I wanted onto this geek list. And then that gets published. That would appear in the module on the home page of Geek Lists, and people could come and then comment on that. So, next up across here is the Bazaar. Basically, it's more forums where you can go and make trades with other users of RPG Geek, or even go to eBay and start looking for games there, or sell games for that matter. Miscellaneous section, wow, this could take another whole video just looking through these, but of real interest is the guild section. Basically, this is a specialist forum that gets set up. So let me just go into guilds. And you can see there's all kinds of subjects. So let's go to hobby and interest. Expand that. And you can see anime, there you go. So somebody's created a forum basically for anime. Scroll down here, it's forum, lots of threads, and you can reply to them. So there's pretty much a guild or a forum for every subject you can think of. What else we got here? Geek chat, so you can start chatting to other users using a chat client. RSS feeds, so if you like to keep up to date on things using RSS, you can do that. It's not really worth me elaborating on them. Oh, create. If you want to add an RPG into the database that's not already there, you can come in here and create an item for it. The moderators will have to look over that before it's accepted. Takes a little while to do, but there's all kinds of things you can create in the database. But, oh yeah, here, recently viewed. This is a list of all the games or RPG items that you've visited. Obviously, I've only looked at Hollow Point so far, but if I click all, you can see it's just going to be a list of everything that I've ever looked at. It's really quite handy because you may be reading the description of a game and then 2 weeks later you think, what was that game called again? And you can come back into your recently viewed list, work your way back through time at all the things you've looked at and find that game, even if you can't remember the name of it. Next up, the quick bar. It's really handy. Let me just click on this link to get back to the RPG item for Hollow Point. Now, you've got up to 10 pages of these plus symbols. Now, if I just click this plus here and put in the hollow point item. You can see it's now put that text there. Now if I navigate somewhere else, let's just go to a random RPG item. So it's just picked a random item out of the database to go there. But up here, I can just click on this link that I created, and it'll jump me straight back to HoloPoint. So it's basically you're able to set up favourites within the RPG Geek itself. So RPG items, forum, posts, whatever. You can just basically create a short link to it. Now I can subscribe to HoloPoint, or anything else for that matter. If I click this, I'm now subscribed to HoloPoint. What that means is if anybody makes a post here, I'll get notified of that. What will happen up here is that in this subscriptions, this will turn red with the number 1 like up here, and it'll indicate that I've got a subscription item to follow up. I'll click that. There's nothing in there at the moment though, is there? No. But you'd get a list of subscription items here that you've subscribed to that have had responses, and you just click the link and it takes you to that page and you can see what's been added. This other link up here is your mailbox. It's not email, it's Geek Mail. Basically you can send a message to any other user, like here I've got an email come in from FNH1. So if I just click on this, hello, this is your first Geek Mail, or GM as it's called in RPG Geek. So you can send a message to any other user. It doesn't go out as an email, it's just totally kept within RPG Geek. I think that'll do for now. I've gone for about a quarter of an hour just talking you around. But there's nothing here to be afraid of. Just remember you can go to the basic forums, and this is a good place to start as anywhere. You can talk on any subject. Or if you want to talk about a particular game, you can just do a search here for an RPG item or even a post on the RPG itself. Do a search for it. Go to the forum section on the game's page. On the game's page, yes, that's right. And you can make a post in the forum there, and people will respond to it. RPG Geek is a really friendly community, and you should get involved.